Many adults, as they look into the mirror, wish to be young, but while teenagers' bodies are around their optimal state, their young minds go through hundreds of obstacles each day. Every year, 3,030,000 American students drop out of high school. That's 8,300 young minds seizing their formal education each day.
If you could drop out of school and get the same pay and benefits as if you had gone to college, would you still drop out of school?
I wouldn't, because it's the experience that counts. It's not like if you jump right now right into like a job, you don't get to learn, and you will never be satisfied completely with what you're doing. If you were not learning, you wouldn't go through all the experience of education. That's like what makes that job special to you.
I like learning overall, I think. I don't like homework and stuff, but like learning new things is definitely fun.
Right now?
Yeah.
And not go to college?
Yeah.
No.
You would stay in school?
Yes.
Why?
Because I like learning.
82% of crimes in the U.S. are committed by a high school dropout. A high school graduate, on average, earns $260,000 more than a high school dropout. High school dropouts are ineligible for 90% of U.S. jobs. The percentage of dropouts has decreased since 1970, but America is still not where it needs to be. Considering all the hardship that dropping out of high school entails, why do students drop out of high school?
Do you feel like high school students are under a lot of pressure? If so, what pressures?
Duh, you have to be perfect in everything. You know?
What do you mean?
If you're an athlete, you gotta be a good athlete, and you gotta be an amazing student if you go to Indian Hill, and you have to have some outside talent, and you should probably be working, and you should probably be tutoring somebody in something, and all while, being a great person in the community.
I feel like high school students are pressured to do well and do better than their parents or previous generations. We're trying to focus a lot more on academics, but at the same time you have to have all of these, you have to be a well-rounded person, you have to be really good at sports, you have to be leaders of all the clubs, you have to be really musical, you have to do all these things while still get A+ straight A's or whatever in really top classes.
I feel like right now high schoolers are under the pressure to do everything they can to stack their resume and get into college, because back in our parents' generations, they just had to focus on academics and do well in school, but now we have to do sports activities, we have to be able to do everything just to stand out.
The most obvious reason why students drop out is because high school is hard, and students are put under the constant pressure of succeeding in life. Among the lowest acceptance rates in 2013 were Stanford University with an acceptance rate of 5.69, Harvard University with an acceptance rate of 5.79, and Yale University with an admission rate of 6.72.
You have to start thinking about your future, and everything you do from that point matters a lot for basically the rest of your life. It's just you don't know what the colleges are looking for. You don't know what the admissions people want. It's scary.
How many hours of homework do you have per night on average?
Jesus. 5. Easy.
See, 7, 8.
With all the academic pressure that these young minds feel, sleep slowly falls down on the list of priorities. Studies have shown that teens need about 9.25 hours of sleep each night to function at maximum ability. However, a recent study showed that only 15% of students got 8.5 hours or more, and only 20% of all ages of students reported sleeping 9 hours on the average night. But it's not just that students are getting the recommended amount of sleep, they're barely getting enough sleep to function.
On average, how many hours of sleep do you get per night?
School nights average from 4 to 7 hours. Yeah, it depends on the night.
Sleep is involved in everything from memory to mental health, and a lack of sleep can even augment the symptoms of depression. Still others decide to hurt other people when they are in a depressed state. In 2011, 5.4% of students surveyed reported having carried a weapon to school at least once in the preceding month, even though firearms are prohibited in schools. There have been over 189 deaths from school shootings since Columbine in 1999.
How do you feel when you hear about school shootings in the news?
Depressed. when you come to school, you don't want to have to like think about that kind of stuff happening because you want school to be safe.
How do you feel when you hear in the news about school shootings?
I mean, it makes me upset and scared because stuff like that happens to schools like around this country, and one day it could just happen to our school because you never know.
What causes people's mind to deteriorate so quickly? Peer pressure may be a cause.
You have to participate in class, you have to pay attention and like understand everything in order, you have to look smart even if you don't understand what's going on. That kind of pressure.
I've seen like girls who like don't necessarily want to do like certain things like partying and drinking and stuff, and they get into a friend group and they want to like be in there so badly that they pretend to be someone who they're not.
Young adults may be around their physical prime, but their minds and bodies are obviously suffering each day. So next time you look in a mirror, think to yourself, do you really want to be young?